Hi guys, good evening. This is your PWD Gamer 217. Now I present you my list, top 10 list of the best gameplay mechanics of Ghost of Tsushima. You may call this as my official game review video. So for this video, I'll be listing or telling you about what I really like about the game, the mechanics of the game that I really love, and at the same time, I'll also be dropping some elements or mechanics of the game that can be improved upon by the developers, at least in my opinion. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, let me just repeat that really slowly so that it can be understood. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like my Facebook page that goes with the same name, PWD Gaming 217. And let's go. Alright, so let's start off with number 10. For the 10th spot, I would say that the intro battle in the game is very unexpected, but it's a welcome introduction, and at the same time, I think most of the gamers, most of the players who played the game really liked how the game started. I'm talking about the battle where the 80 samurai charged up ahead against the invading force, the 1,000 army of the Mongols. Now, this is very exciting because we weren't, I myself, speaking for myself, I wasn't really expecting that particular scene would take place at the beginning. I saw that part at in one of the trailers, but to my mind, I thought it would be somewhere in the middle or at least at a latter part of the story. But lo and behold, it happened in the very beginning. To be honest, actually it happened in the very beginning, just right after you set up your settings, your preferences. That's the next scene that you will get to see. So most of the players liked it, including myself. I haven't seen any players who did not like the way the game was introduced or the way the game started. For my ninth spot, I would have to say it's the environment, the overall look, the scenic views, the vistas, the mountain, the trees, the forests, all everywhere you go there are particles, leaves falling. It's very realistic. Not only is it beautiful, but it's very realistic. And part of appreciating the environment are the different side activities that you can get to take part in. These activities are the bamboo strike, the haikus, the onsen or the hot springs, the pillars of honor, the Inari shrines, the Shinto shrines. That's it. So there are a lot of side activities and are located scattered all throughout the island of Tsushima, and you have to discover them. Of course, we are all familiar with the golden bird that flies to guide you to these different locations of side activities. All right. So for my eighth spot, I would say the lack of heads-up display. Yes, we all know that that we can appreciate how the world of Tsushima looks because of the fact that we can view the environment in almost in its entirety, because there are almost none of the heads-up display that we are used to in playing RPG games or even FPS games, or just even playing games in general. So the lack of these heads-up displays, such as your life meter, your resolve meter, uh, location indicators, really allow us, the players, to appreciate the beauty of the island. And having mentioned the life meter, the resolve meter, the location indicators, it doesn't mean that the game doesn't have those. No, the game has these elements, heads up display elements, but they only appear during significant moments. For example, your life meter and your resolve meter only appear when you're in combat, but when you're exploring, it disappears. It does not appear on screen. So what you're viewing is your character or your horse, and if you're exploring, what you're viewing is the trees, the leaves, the grass, the environment in itself. Nothing else is on screen. All right. So for our number 7 spot, having less HUDs or HUDs or heads-up displays would be would not be complete if the game has no photo mode. So what makes us players appreciate the beauty, the aesthetic beauty of the game even more is the photo mode. I would even dare say that the photo mode in itself is a mini game, a game within a game, with all of the tools, the elements that are rather included in the photo mode. You can actually experiment how you want the finished product will appear. This is and the appreciation of this mechanic of the game is highly apparent, and it's very obvious that the players really like this mechanic of the game, and it is shown by the numerous photos posted online. There are a lot, probably thousands of photos taken during the gameplay of within the gameplay of the Ghost of Tsushima. So it's really one of the best things that would actually take up your time. aside from exploring the island, you can also get sidetracked by experimenting with the photo mode. Alright, and for the last entry for the first half of the list, number 6 is equipment. This includes the armor and the weapons. By my count, I could be wrong though. There are 11 armors in the game, including the one that you get when you pre-order the game in the special editions. I don't know if I don't know if it is also included in the standard edition, but it's one of the armors. So there are 11 armors, and these armors can actually be customized. Well, it how it looks can be customized by buying colors or dyes. Buy it from the merchants. The the armor can also be customized automatically when you upgrade it. So as you upgrade the armor, the appearance also changes. So I would say the customization of the armors is not as extensive as maybe other games, but it's actually an amusing mechanic. Uh, you get to choose the color of the armor depending on the armor. There are also available colors, and at the same time, as you upgrade it, how it looks would even change. And as you unlock the upgrade, you can revert back the appearance of the previous to the previous appearance of the armor without downgrading the armor. So that's also a neat mechanic of the game. In terms of weapons, you have the Sakai Katana and the Tanto, which is mainly used for assassinations. The Katana is, well, mainly used for combat, but at times you can also use it during assassinations. You also have your ghost weapons, ghost tools. The ones we have seen in the trailer, I won't spoil it for those who have yet to play. The ones we have seen are the smoke bomb, the kunai, and the sticky bomb. And lastly, the firecrackers. So these tools are also um, very useful, regardless whether you're um, facing the enemy head on or sneaking in their behind their knowledge, or sneaking in their camp and stealthily getting rid of the enemy. Alright, so we have reached the first half of our list, and as is common with countdowns, we have to do a recap. So without further ado, number 10 is the introduction battle. Number 9 is the environment. Number 7 is photo mode. Or number 8 rather. Number 8 is the less or the almost no heads up display. Number 7 is photo mode. Number 6 is equipment. Alright, so we are now at the last half of our list, and at entry number 5 we have the gameplay. So exploration, we've seen the gameplays, we've seen the state of play, and we all know how We played the game, and we all know how seamless exploration is, and we all know that exploration can be rewarding. Combat. Combat is composed, for me, in my opinion, is composed of the samurai approach and the shinobi approach or the ghost approach. So when you decide to to enter in a hostile territory, you can choose how your approach will be. Whether you're going to face them head on as a samurai, or you can sneak in and wipe out the entire enemy. But in my opinion, it is best to use a bit of both. Sure, there are times that the game will put you in a position, or maybe through your not so good stealth skills, you will be in a position to fight as a samurai. So it's good to be flexible, so that whenever you're in a position in the game that you have to draw your sword and face the enemy, even initially you wanted to do it stealthily, it's advisable to be able to adapt when the moment calls for it. So that's number 5, gameplay. Hmm. Number 4. Number 4 would be ghost mode. So ghost mode is an ability that is unlocked at a certain stage of the game, of the story. And what I really like about it, besides the visual effects that it creates, or that it gives, is the effect of that, of activating that ability to your enemies. In short, the ability terrorizes or terrifies your enemy. There will be times when you activate the ability, your enemies will fall to the ground, fall on their asses, and scream, "Ghost!" Yes, you heard that right. They will scream, "Ghost!" Well, anyway, it's a nice moment in the game. Hearing your enemies shouting in fear, the ghost. So that's number 4. Our third spot would be, or my third spot would be, the storyline. I've read some social media channels that the story is not that deep. It's merely about revenge. It's merely about the relationship of a father and a son, because Lord Shimura is like a father to Jin, and the latter a son to the former. But to me, it's more than that. I think if you look deeper, it's the core of the story is about the internal struggle that Jin faced, from being one person to transforming into an entirely different person. So you see, Jin is indoctrinated, or um, he was raised as a samurai, indoctrinated as a samurai, He grew up as a samurai. Everything he knew is based on the way of the warrior or the way of the samurai or the bushido. So you can just imagine that the belief system that Jin has was rocked to the core when he slowly started to realize that adhering to the set of principles dictated by Bushido will not be sufficient to face the challenges brought about by the Mongol invaders. That's the reason why he struggled. It's not, maybe it wasn't really depicted sufficiently or enough in the game, but for me, the flashbacks at the start of the game, when Jin starts to veer away from the tenets of Bushido, he started getting these flashbacks, the teachings that Lord Shimura taught him. So that, for me, that symbolizes his struggle, his internal struggle, his internal conflict. Now, that to me is depth within the storyline, and the fact that Jin actually became an entirely different person in the manifestation of the ghost. It's like Jin Sakai is no more. Jin Sakai is merely a name. It is not all. It was completely erased. It's not associated with a samurai clan anymore. By the end of the game, Jin becomes the ghost, and that's his persona, the end result of his persona. So it's a complete transformation, if in my opinion. All right, so that's number 3, storyline. Number 2, and this is my second most favorite mechanic of the game, and that is, or are, the standoffs. I have to admit that during the first trailer, the very first trailer it was shown, in E3, I guess. I'm not sure if it was E3 2017 or 2018. 2017, I think. The main what I liked about the trailer, what appealed to me during that trailer is, although it wasn't confirmed, it was a very short trailer. What appealed to me that time is the appearance of Jin from a samurai to a ninja, or to a shinobi. And I knew right there and then that I'm gonna get that game. I'm gonna get this game. And then all the other trailers emerged. All the other trailers were shown, and when the mechanic of standoff was shown, it only cemented my resolve to buy the game, to get the game. So I would say that the standoff mechanic is a very, very, um, at least on my part, I really appreciated it. I really liked it. Although I suck at it, I am on my third playthrough and I still suck at standoffs. Anyway, so that's that's the second entry for our list. And again, since we're nearing our the end of the list, before we proceed to number the number one spot, yes, you guessed it right. We are going to do a quick recap from numbers 10 to 2. So, for number 10, the introduction battle. Number 9, the environment. Number 8 is the absence or the lacking of heads-up display. Number 7 is photo mode. Number 6, equipment. Number 5, gameplay. Number 4, ghost stance. Number 3, the storyline. Number 2, standoffs. And lastly, the top spot, the top gameplay mechanic that I really, really liked about Ghost of Tsushima. And these are the duels. These are actually boss fights. Duels. I've watched a lot of samurai films. Sword of the Immortal, Sword of the Stranger, Samurai X, the animated, the OAV, the movie, Ninja Scroll, 47 Ronin, Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. In all of those films, have duels in them. And it's because I think it's a common situation during the feudal Japan that samurais would engage in duels. I've also read that during those times, feudal Japan times, there is this practice called the tsujiri. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong though, tsujiri is the practice of testing a new katana obtained by a samurai by facing another samurai. And it usually happens in the streets. Whenever a samurai with a new katana wants to test his blade, or whenever he learned a new technique, he would test the blade or his technique to another samurai, just a random samurai that he would encounter on the streets or on the back streets of a town, perhaps. And I've learned about this. I've read about this somewhere, and this was also mentioned in one of the Way of the Samurai games, Way of the Samurai 4. Yes, I've played Way of the Samurai 2, 3, and 4. And duels are a very common scenario or a common event during feudal Japan, if I'm not mistaken, and it is depicted clearly in it is actually depicted in the several samurai films that we have today, and in the in this game, and in the Way of the Samurai game. So when it was included here in the game, the duel mechanic, I really uh, loved it. The cinematography, how it was captured, how it was shown, or the angles of the camera. It's very excellent. It's exceptional, and it's truly amazing. Amazing. So there we have it. That's my top 10 list of gameplay mechanics in Ghost of Tsushima. I hope you enjoyed listening to my voice, and I would beg your forgiveness um, if my voice sounded monotonous. You have to bear with me. This is actually, I'm just starting my channel, and still learning the ropes. I hope that you would continue to support my channel. Again, if you're new to my channel, I can only promise you that I will try to do my best to improve posting videos, or to improve how I conduct or how I stream live videos of gameplay, or videos of recorded videos of games. And I also make it a point that I upload videos, at least one video per week. So stay tuned for my future uploads, or my live stream. I stream my gameplays every Friday nights and Saturday nights, and sometimes during weekdays, but more consistently during weekends, especially during the current situation wherein we are all compelled to stay at home. So that's why I always say, if you play safe, you stay safe. Once again, this is your PWD Gamer 217. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and hit the like button on my Facebook page with the same name, PWD Gaming 217. Shout out to my avid supporters, JGA, Bar Mendoza, and also to XP Hobby. I would also invite everyone to subscribe and like the page of XP Hobby. He's a good friend. He's also starting his content creation. I hope you support him as much as you support me. And stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much. PWD Gamer 217 signing off.